Hey everyone, it's Zach with Palantir Research. A massive £4 billion or $4.8 billion grant will be a huge help to one of Palantir's clients, and this is a recent one, which in turn does help Palantir, and I'll go over why. But in addition, Palantir released a couple videos on their YouTube channel today from one of their commercial clients, Komatsu, which shows clearly how they use AIP and the business value it brings, while also the NNSA, or National Nuclear Security Administration, who signed a $90 million contract back in 2021 with Palantir, and how it helped them modernize and run efficiently as well as safely. So starting with the UK's news, the news itself is very simple. Britain has signed contracts worth around $4.8 billion to finance the next phase of modernizing and upgrading their attack submarine project. The main driver is something I've talked about heavily in regards to Japan too, but countering China in the Asia-Pacific region. Babcock is listed as one of the British companies involved in the deal. Now, very recently on September 13, Babcock signed a deal with Palantir, so no matter what, even if it's not a direct deal or if these dollars even going there, this still is a huge positive sign for Palantir considering more money is coming to one of their customers. And three big important reasons also come to mind as well. So the obvious one is more ability to pay or have opportunity for Palantir to showcase their value to Babcock. Nothing to dive deeper into this one. But the next one I think is a major reason is good news for Palantir is because it's an overall modernization effort. So right now it is focused on submarines, but a naval fleet and other branches of the UK's military relies on different kinds of vehicles, technology, and equipment. If Babcock can show off and showcase their worth in this region or reign of the submarines upgrades, who's to know if this will expand their business with the UK military, which in turn gives much more room for Palantir to spread at Babcock as well, due to other kinds of equipment upgrades or transitions. And the third part is the continued reason for this grant and the overall mission there. If this is to counter China in that region, we already know this is a consistent mission for Palantir as well. If this is motivation to secure future kinds of grants or deals, then what's to stop Babcock from using Palantir as well much more deeply and openly because they know it's aligned? There isn't any reason not to. This is not just for the UK exclusively. They are working together with other countries and most importantly Australia because they strategically are closest among these partnering countries because they're strategically closest to that region that's in contention near China. So overall, it's good news for Babcock but also Palantir here in the background because of the sheer opportunity. Now, for the Komatsu video, they are a commercial client for Palantir. They have a video up on Palantir where they're trying to maximize their customers' machine uptime with optimizing their services to these customers. So they leveraged Palantir Foundry as well as AIP. So they were able to root out the manual processes and digitize that, but also set up their ontology, which makes data visible for the organization. So that's the first step. But now they want to take action and optimize based on these insights. So Komatsu, they were able to pull in tribal knowledge amongst their different service technicians groups who have direct experience there, and it's not necessarily in a tidy database. So they set up a single solution engine that was a single source of truth for them that is fed in by all the disparate data sources as well as different technicians when they're working with the system. They were able to identify a crucial part for customers and found the root causes of failure, and they were able to streamline their service order as well as the parts ordering all together and no need to work in different systems. So in the end, it saves time, which maximizes machine uptime, which in turn saves tens of thousands of dollars just in the time for these customers. And then the best part is that it's a self-improving feedback system that gets better over time here. Nothing's lost just because you fixed one issue. So Komatsu lays out clearly to potential customers in this presentation how this was all done. Just get your ontology set up. AIP gets open text or unstructured data into a usable format, and then extend their use cases with, say, their supply chain and workflow. And then just go from there, go to the AIP bootcamp because you're going to get to real business results really fast. And then the other video today is from the NNSA where the video speaker spells out the issues for their organization. And a lot of it comes down to modernization as well and changing demographics of their workforce. So the issue is very clear here that there are great people at the organization that know how to do the safety checks at different nuclear sites. And they can do this individually, but spreading that amongst everyone does take time. And it doesn't necessarily mean everyone does it the same way. But similarly to the trades in the United States, almost where these skills are just going away because folks are retiring, and also as the changing workforce attitudes at staying at a place for 40 years is gone, people just stay maybe 5 to 10 years, which I think is still kind of long actually. But that's going to affect the performance of your organization. So in comparison to Komatsu, this is a much bigger cultural and organizational issue for the NNSA, but it's a government one, so I'm not surprised. But they were able to use Palantir to really get their stuff together with digitally transforming how they do their work individually, but also collaboratively. And remember, this is in the context of a secure environment, since this is a high-stakes situation where any failure or miss has catastrophic consequences. Or if they find any issue at one facility, it is going to affect the other ones there, and everyone needs to be aware and at the same page. But on the other part they covered is how investing in IT for the NNSA to modernize today also helps them to implement and invest further into the future and going through the process in a much more easier way, which rolls right into the momentum that they're speaking or getting the ball rolling. They need to actually make change and have progress now because it's going to help them do this later on as well. And government organizations are not known for that. So this is getting a huge thing rolling. So all of these customers and client videos that Palantir does makes a difference here. It spells it out in a very digestible way that customers can easily see for themselves how they want to do it. And these customers easily lay out the case how their organizations not only benefited, but also transformed and how quickly they were able to do it.